As we have our series, and again, Bunny is waiting for the winner of this match. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the only Zerg player in this group. He's surrounded by Terrans. He's on the couch. Oh no. We'll see if he can make it through the group. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg for Weibo Gaming. It is a SHIN. For Weibo Gaming. Let's go. So getting into our ZVT. Now, I did mention earlier that SHIN, he is known for going into roach-based openers and for trying to rush into Hive Tech. I do expect to see that here. I do expect to see that at some point in this series. But do we see it on Tokamak? Now, when it comes to that roach-based style and roach-based opener, it is very safe and it is often seen on smaller maps. I'm referring to maps like Ultra, referring to maps like Persephone, referring to maps like Torches as well. On larger maps though, like Maganatha or like Tokamak, this is where going into Lingbane is a lot more accessible, a lot more viable, and we could see SHIN go into something like Lingbane, not into roaches. So we'll see. We shall see. What's going to happen to the closed qualifier if Showtime qualifies for EWC via Star Zagora? I think you're referring to the global qualifier. I would imagine that the seed for one of the players, regardless of whether a European or a Korean player makes it through, it will just go to the next player in line, right? When it comes to the regional qualifier. So I believe for Europe that would be God, who would it be? Lambo, right? So for Europe it'd be Lambo because Lambo, he lost the tiebreaker to Hero Marine, and for Korea it would be Creator, as Creator he lost the tiebreaker to a Terran player. Was it Gumiho? I have to double check. Esports World Cup, Korean qualifier, tiebreaker. Yeah, lost it to Gumiho. So for the Korean side, I would assume that Creator would fill that spot, and for the European side, it would be Lambo. If you're asking for that situation. Here we go. From here, we do have our center opener here by ByuN with said Marine. Oh wait, I'm sorry, my apologies. I was a little distracted. Behind this, no Reaper. Did go Marine first. With this Marine first, he's going to be able to hold on. Despite that, SCVs are under fire. Mining's going to be denied. One SCV does go down, so a nice pick off here initially by SHIN. Again, ByuN did skip his Reaper, and I believe he skipped his SCV. Yep, skipped his SCV scout as well. Meanwhile, early Roach Horn out of SHIN. If you recall, I was referring to how on a larger map like this, we might see some more Lingbane aggression, but no, that is not the case. Very early Roach Horn, so this is going to be for an early Roach push. This doesn't have to be all in. This could just be an 8 to 9 Roach timing, then droning up behind it. Meanwhile, ByuN playing safe, going for 1-1-1 into Cloak Banshee before the CC. Very good read here by ByuN. So this is much more aggressive, much more assertive, and you could argue in this situation much more safe here from ByuN because Banshee production is going to be much earlier than normal. Oh boy. ByuN doesn't really know what's going on. SHIN, he also he might have caught a glimpse of that starport. So we'll see what he can get done. But again, basically, there's no third. There's no third base here from ByuN. There should be, but there isn't. Because there isn't, there's already a Banshee. The first Banshee has already arrived. And remember, this not all in. I did mention that we should be moving out with, I was assuming it was going to be 9, but it's going to be 11. So a little bit more of a commitment here. Yeah, with 11 roaches moving out, and then we drone, right? Then SHIN, he's droning up, he's saturating. This is designed to get damage done, but I don't know if it really will. It gets spotted, and yeah, the Banshee reveals itself. Like, this does nothing. This is a hard counter. Yeah, the roaches are shut down. Now, some of them do slip by. Hellions are diving in, roaches are trying to keep up, and they just committed to the mineral line. And SHIN, he's not in position. Hellions, they bust in, drones are getting roasted, and this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand, getting out of control. Now, thankfully, Shinny did slip by with a handful of roaches. They're hitting the natural as we speak. And we'll see what they can get done. As Hellions, they get 6 drone kills. Roaches, they will get 1 SCV. They can maybe get 3? Maybe? Okay, yeah. They get 3 workers. They get 4 towards the end. And from here, ByuN, he's in a much stronger position here as he has gained map control. But the question becomes, this is quite committed here. There's still no third. This is looking more and more like a 2-base all-in. 3-1-1, 2-base all-in. We might still go for a very delayed third base, but this is very committed here by ByuN. Remember, the entire time Shin has been droning. But Shin, he has to scout, he has to recognize what's going on here. If he drones too much, then he may just topple over. Queen goes down. Manages to get the queen. The queen count is still quite low. As another queen goes down, again, the queen's getting picked away at. Meanwhile, ByuN, here comes the push. Remember, early stim, early move out. So Shin, he was droning. He doesn't really have much of an army, and he may just lose the third base here and now. Again, we spoke about just how aggressive ByuN is this game. There was no third. Now there is. Now there's a third base on the way, but it's so late, so delayed. And as a result, he makes up for it with the army. Yeah, boys are being pulled. She getting desperate. Oh god, he's gonna lose so many drones. He's gonna lose so many workers. And with that, ByuN, he does it. He breaks on through. He breaks the defensive line here of Shin. All the queens go down, all the roaches as well. There's nothing left to defend. The third base will fall. And this is critical damage. Oh god. As that one tank has done so much, now another tank has arrived. Down goes the third. And again, Shin, he has nothing behind this. He does transfer over. He does save at least some workers at his 4th base. Now his new 3rd. But ByuN isn't done. ByuN is just rallying. He's just rallying across the map. He stims from across the map as well. It's fine. And again, Shin almost hard countered this game. Going for early roaches against a 1-1-1 was brutal. And with that, Shin falls apart. GG gets called, and ByuN takes game number 1. Whew. GG. ByuN does take a lead in this series. Again, winding it back here. ByuN, so what I should say is that standard play here in this matchup is to go for a faster third base before starport to get into a more standard economic game state. For ByuN, there was no third. There was no third. There was one at the very end, but he didn't even need the third base. It was borderline 2-base all in there from ByuN, so very aggressive. And unfortunately for Shin, he was opening up aggressive against that 1-1 setup against early Banshee. And you saw how those Banshees completely shut down the Roach aggression, so the Roaches did nothing. Behind that, Shin, to catch up, to make up for his lack of damage dealt with the Roaches, he droned up as hard as possible. But he didn't realize just how aggressive and how committed ByuN was being. Unfortunately, there was no rescout into the main, or there was no scout into the main period, and he was just caught with his pants down. The pants were down for Shin, and ByuN, he was able to go for the kill. Again, just a really good read out of ByuN to assume that Shin would actually be aggressive with Roaches, to be honest. Like, that was just almost a hard counter from ByuN. So really, really nice setup, really nice choice of builds. And with that, we're getting into game 2. ByuN has a lead in the series. And we'll see if we see something similar again. I'm curious. Like Shin, he's known for Roach play. He's known for Roach play. I do think it's really smart to go 1-1-1 against Shin. Do we do it 2 games in a row? We're here to find out. We're here to find out. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of lane lines, we have the blue Zerg player of the South Korean Zerg representing Weibo Gaming. It is Shin. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. We go. And again, Shin, he's known for Roach plays, known for Roach openers. So I am fond of the idea of just Not just getting into Banshee play, but rushing into Banshee play as well. As we do have a 16 hatch opener here by SHIN. Does go for the extractor trick. So this should be hatch pool, correct? Hatch pool late gas. Okay. We'll see how late the gases are going to be. These gasless openers, fun fact, are vulnerable to 111s. Like if ByuN goes for another 111 into that mass Hellion opener with faster Banshees, SHIN is gonna have a hard time defending here. We'll see. We'll see. Again, I point to Clem versus Serral. Clem versus Serral last year at EWC. Serral, he was very fond of opening up gasless in a very similar way that we're seeing here. And game after game after game, he was just punished so hard by Clem. Clem just going for 111 openers, diving into mineral lines, roasting up drones. Basically what's happening here, okay, gas is now being taken, but late gas out of SHIN. Now, because the gas is so late, what that means, late link speed. It means that link speed is going to be later than usual, and because of that, SHIN is going to be more vulnerable to Hellion dives, to Hellion aggression, because he's going to be stuck with slow links for a longer period of time. So there's a window here where he's going to be vulnerable, where he's defending with purely queens and slow links. Now, because link speed is going to be so delayed, a lot of Zerg players from this point forward would just play Roach. They would just skip link speed because it's already going to be late anyway. They just throw down a Roach one and play into Roaches. We'll see if that's the case for SHIN. SHIN now claiming his third base. ByuN back at home so far. Once again, ByuN, he skips the SCV Scout and he skips the Reaper Scout as well. ByuN, he's been so greedy, but last game he had a really good read on his opponent and just, again, essentially hard countered SHIN. This time, do we also go for the starport? Looking like that isn't the case. Marines are hunting for Overlords, but this is looking like a third CC, as we have the money for it. SCV. This is intentional. We have 500 minerals, by the way. Did we? Okay, 111 from the side of ByuN, and he's going for the bunker. Wow, yeah, he's going for the bunker at the third base. SHIN, he will barely, oh, he sees. Ooh, okay, that was close. But SHIN, he does barely get eyes on that bunker. He is aware. Queens are moving in. We have slow links moving in. Again, link speed just began. Link speed is a ways away from finishing. But I believe the bunker should be denied. It's going to be close, though. It's going to be close. Oh my god, the SCV is going to be targeted down. And SHIN holds. Ooh, SHIN, he will hold on. There's that cancel. ByuN shouts us back. The slow links diving in for the surround. ByuN is trading well. And again, without link speed, like, we can kite fairly well here. Here come the Hellions. Oh my god, they have some awkward movement there, but nice shots going off nonetheless. Very nice shots. As Hellions pull away, and again with the 1-on-1, we have more Hellions on the way with the Banshee, but this is a faster third CC here from ByuN, faster compared to last game. So this is not as aggressive, not as assertive. Remember, last game he went for a second and third racks before CC. This is still aggressive, but the Hellions, they took a lot of hits already. Yeah, this is not as worth it. Cleans up the lings, but he won't roast up as many drones. Or at least he shouldn't. Gets one. Gets one so far. And just the one. You know, link speed was researched. ByuN is aware. He's keeping the Banshee at home. SHIN, he's moving out. His goal here is to try to catch up ByuN with his pants down, but ByuN, he is in position. And ByuN is ready. He's ready, does deflect. Behind this, going for his own bio setup. ByuN, of course, he's willing to play mech, and he did so last season. I would not be surprised if he does so again. I mean, he has already shown that off in recent times. Shooting off more mech, but not this game. Meanwhile, it's going to be a 5-minute lair timing. Again, the timings are a little bit off just because of the opener, so it's all a little bit shaky, a little bit janky. SHIN is getting fully saturated. Now we're going for a much later Roach Horn. That's a 5:30 Roach Horn timing. But again, like the timings are all just like a little bit off just because of the opener. Just because of the start. Lings, they punish the Hellions. Nice cleanup. Back at home, there's not much to defend actually. Yeah, ByuN, he was just a little bit too careless with that army. Lings move out. Thankfully, there is a full wall. But there's going to be no mining at the third. Things that do threaten a dive. They threaten a dive as SHIN, he is going for a +1 range. There's the infestation bit on the way. Now SHIN, he has two options here. Obviously he's rushing into Hive. From here he can go into +1 melee after +1 range, or there it is, we can go for the Hydra and we can go into Roach, Hydra, and then rush into Lurker Tech with Hive Tech Lurkers and Viper production as well. So it does look like SHIN is working towards Lurker Tech. He's getting there. Likewise, ByuN is being active. ByuN does move out. SHIN slipping past the army. Headed towards the bases, but ByuN, he has reinforcements. His production's ready. He does defend. He does hold. Meanwhile, SHIN building up his own upgrades here. Infestation bit is done. We should be seeing that Hive momentarily. Safety infestors first, okay. I'm all for it. That's zoning SHIN away. SHIN, he's in a bit of trouble here. Now, thankfully, he does have those infestors in production, but until then, he's in danger. Bearing in mind, the soup does lie. Like, he has inflated supply with all those roaches. Lings, they do get into the mineral line, though. SCVs are going to be going down. At least they should be. There we go. SCVs are falling. Wow, they graze the Marines. That's still a lot of Marines. Yeah, the tank line is brutal. It is a little bit far back. Oof. Once again, very brutal volleys. Nice fungal. Oh my god, the fungals. Yeah, fungal does connect, and with that one fungal SHIN, he will hold. Whew. Shuts out the army, forces ByuN back, does punish. And can he keep going? Not quite. But nice defense nonetheless. Now we have the Hive halfway done. No Lurker Den yet. And still only the two infestors. The one fungal. But again, that one fungal growth, can it make or break a fight for him? Oh, the infestor. The infestor! Oh no! The tanks! Ooh, the infestor goes down. No fungal! And SHIN, I'm not so sure he can take this fight. Does push forward. And Marines are coming to reinforce. Does get one of the tanks. One tank does go down. And so does the second. Not bad. Yeah, without the tanks, the Marines, they cannot hold their own. Not like this. More reinforcements on the way. Going into Widow Mines. A bit of a misread here from ByuN. Especially against what would be Lurker Tech. But nice stutter stepping. Does stutter step in. Does punish. It's a lot of Ravagers going down. Do we have another fungal? Not yet. Oh god. ByuN does pull away though. Does pull away. Lurker Den is in production. And at this point, ByuN should not be aware. After seeing all those Hydras, he should be aware we do need tanks instead. Again, Widowmines are amazing against Ling Bane. They're amazing. But against Roach, Hydra, Lurker tech, they're less so. ByuN is being somewhat active, just causing a distraction. ByuN keeping Shin's attention here on the right hand side. Meanwhile, here comes a drop, going for the tank. Oh my god, going for the Hydrogen even. Yeah, nice pick up. Hydrogen goes down, catching some reinforcements as well. Going for +2, going for two upgrades even, going for both of them. And again, Shin completely out of position. He's racing on over. Roaches are going down, Lurkers are denied, getting the expansion, getting the mineral, getting everything. ByuN, calm down. He's going to be cleaned up, but this is well worth it as he breaks through on the right hand side, cleans up the army, breaks through into the Hydras. There's one Lurker left. There's a scan. Lurker goes down, and ByuN, he just overwhelms. He just overwhelms. Takes down the mineral line, takes down the expansion. There's that one fungal, and with that fungal, Shin, he should hold on, but he loses another base. Another base goes down. Ay, ay, ay. And with that, we have three upgrades on the way. Plenty of Marauders as well. Can go for another expansion, but now trading with the Roaches. Happy to trade. We have the Ghost production or Ghost Academy on the way behind this. Getting the Ghost. Honestly, he doesn't need it though. He doesn't need it. He's doing so much already. Do have the Infestor on the way. But so far, the Widowmines have kind of held their own when it comes to zoning the army, or at least trying to punish the army for chasing. They have held their own. They have paid for themselves. The fungal was a little bit lackluster. Hydrogen has to be rebuilt. Oh god, the Lurkers are exposed. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Lurkers are going down one after the other. With that nice fungal here on the main army. And ByuN looks like he will break the expansion once again. GG gets called. ByuN, he will completely overwhelm, and ByuN will take the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Some more unusual builds here from Shin, both in game 1 and in game 2. I say unusual, some more risky styles at times, but again, ByuN did a great job of punishing. He punished the builds, he punished Shin, I should say, twice, both games in a row, both in game 1 and in game 2. In game 1, of course, it mentioned how Shin, he was rushing into an early Roach Warren, and ByuN shut it down by going for the 1-1-1. Here, likewise, we saw ByuN getting a lot done with his early Hellion harassment. It did open up Banshee behind it, went for very aggressive move outs, and was able to punish his opponent for being too greedy. We saw that Shin, he was trying to work towards Infestors, work towards the Lurkers, but ByuN, he was there to punish time and time and time again, just before the Infestors came out, and just before the Lurkers came out as well. We saw that Shin just didn't really have much of an efficient army. I would say that Shin was close to stabilizing, and things were still very back and forth between the two players up until the drop of the natural. I'm referring to that, was a double, triple drop that was able to slip by, which killed the Hydrogen, both Evo chambers, the natural, a queen, and a couple of drones. Like, it was crazy just how much damage that counterattack did. Again, Shin was completely out of position. He had no creep. That's on Shin. He had zero creep outside of his natural, so he had zero vision of it until it already hit his natural base. His army was busy by the, was just kept busy by the main army. And that was the beginning of the end. That was the beginning of the end there. Shin, he was struck down before he got into Lurker tech. ByuN could really kind of mass up his army. GG. GG, well played. A very impressive, very aggressive style there by ByuN. Does punish Shin, does bring him down. And with that, we have our two players advancing on. Let's go. Let's catch up on the group itself. Oh, let's catch up. As we switch our scenes over, and here we go. Here we have them. Bunny, God, it happened again. We'll get there. Bunny took down GiveMeHer 2-1 to advance on to the next round. Again, it was very intense and very fast, a very swift TvT between the two players. Bunny does advance on to the winners match. Meanwhile, ByuN takes down SHIN 2-0. Much more dominant performance there by ByuN, with a much more aggressive style, able to punish SHIN time and time again. And now we have our winners match. It's going to be a TvT between Bunny and ByuN. The ByuN duo, they're at it again. They keep playing against each other. they do keep playing in online tournaments and now in GSL as well. So Bunny versus ByuN is going to be underway. It's going to be our next series to determine the first player to make it into the next round, into the round of 8 in this season of GSL. Meanwhile, we have the elimination match, GiveMeHer versus SHIN, to determine which is the first player to be knocked out of the tournament in Group B. Oh boy. So again, we are halfway through. Honestly, so far, really fast games. We haven't really, like, despite even the mech versus mech in the TvT, like, the games ended a lot earlier. Same here with SHIN. He was building up and working towards Hive, but he never really got to embrace Hive tech. He never really got to get into his own final form. He was kind of struck down before he could get there, as ByuN was able to be hyper aggressive and hyper assertive. So we'll see if we have, or if we can sink our teeth a little bit more into our next set of matches. We'll see. There's a lot to get into there. For now, though, we're halfway through the broadcast, and we are going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a short break here, so take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and hydrate all of your hydras. When we come back, we'll have the second half of the broadcast. We'll have the winners match, the elimination match, and the decider match as well. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the break.